were both like fresh off breakups, and I mean, this is a really long time ago now, but it was never like, oh, we need to get back together, but it was just like a comfort thing, of like a very temporary comfort thing.
So I am so excited to have you back on Southern Charm. You know, we obviously see what led you to come back to this show, but was there any convincing, like what made you really want to put your life back on TV?
So it was multiple things. I think the timing sort of worked out in a way where I either had to decide to go back or not, because the like when filming was going on. So it was a pretty quick decision, but you know, I reached out to, I mean, I was still in touch with everybody except for like a couple people, and I was like, how would you feel if I came back? I don't really know what I'm gonna do moving forward. I was supposed to be in New York, you know, so kind of like pivoting a little bit. And a part of the pivot was, okay, since I walked away for the show, you know, at a time that's what was best for me, would it be best to come back and maybe have like a bit of a do-over and just have fun with it instead of being all stressed about it and all that. So it was multiple factors, but I'm so glad that I did it, and that everyone was so welcoming for the most part. And we just had like a lot of fun. So yeah, very grateful that everybody had me back.
Definitely. Well, we're so happy to have you back on our screens. And obviously you open up about your move to New York City. You open up about your breakup. Is it going to be hard to rewatch that, to relive that at all? Or are you so far removed from that at this point?
I mean, this is a year ago now, so it feels like ancient history. I think it'll probably just be weird for other people to be hearing these things for the first time, because I'm like, oh, this is like so far long ago. But yeah, I don't think it'll be hard in the way I've processed it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that was a really hard experience for you, though. Here you are thinking that you're going to spend a significant amount of time in New York City, and then kind of your whole world kind of implodes again, pretty much, right? Yeah,
but you know, it really ended up being like the best thing that could have happened. I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I hated it, but now, you know, hindsight's 20/20, and I'm just like very thankful for exactly the way that everything went down.
Definitely. Everything's supposed to happen for a reason. I mean, do you ever talk to your ex at all, or is that done?
No. I mean, I don't really know what we talk about, but there are no like bad feelings there. You know, like I said, I think probably he's very much processed it as well. And I mean, no ill will whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what did you learn about that relationship, and moving forward, what are you looking for in a partner?
Yeah, so I learned a lot. I think the biggest takeaway was just to keep like a very strong sense of self and to not lose my sense of self in a relationship, because I think with my personality type and stuff, I tend to sort of morph into whatever I think the person in front of me wants and lose my true, like, authentic self in the process. And I think a lot of people go through that. So it was important for me to be honest about that, and to show, you know, like, that I can acknowledge that that's what happened, and not, you know, his fault or anything like that. But I think a lot of people try to be what they think people want them to be, and really the most important thing is just to be like true to yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about the Craig of it all. you know, we see in the first episode that the hookup that you guys had in Vegas becomes public. Did you want to get back together after this? Because I spoke to Levin. She thought that you and Craig may have gotten back together after all this.
No. I mean, that was never. I was surprised at how much emphasis was put on it in the episode, because it really, I think other people made it a much bigger deal than it was to me and Craig. It was sort of like a time and place thing where it's like, okay, I know you, I trust you. You know, we were both like fresh off breakups, and I mean, this is a really long time ago now, but it was never like, oh, we need to get back together, blah, blah. It was just like a comfort thing, of like a very temporary comfort thing. And I mean, I think the world of Paige. I think she's great. I think they seem very happy together, and I am so happy for him. And, you know, I was surprised to see people like trying to pin me and Paige against each other, because it really doesn't have to be like that. So yeah, I think that any like misunderstandings that you'll see throughout the season were so unnecessary because of people like in other people's ears and stuff. Where I think if you just left it to me and Paige, like we would be great friends, you know?
Are you good friends? Or I'm sure not best friends,
we're
but
friendly. We're friendly. We don't like, hang out on the weekends or anything, but I love following her on Instagram. I think she's got like great style. I love like the things she posts. I think she's great. So, it's kind of one of those things like there are boundaries, but all good things.
Yeah. Was it ever awkward or uncomfortable? Because we do see the first meeting of you and Paige at Catherine's birthday party. Was it ever uncomfortable situation?
No. I mean, that was the first time I met her and she was so lovely and it wasn't awkward at all. Then I think like, as the season progresses, you'll see Paige and I have a few conversations where it's like we're not understanding each other because they're, like I said, just a lot of different people in people's ears. And it's one person was saying one thing, another person was saying the other. And so some of it was just a misunderstanding. But yeah, I mean, you'll have to watch.
I know. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it all kind of plays out. I mean, would you say that the hookup between you and Craig was kind of like closure? Because you see in the first episode that I think Craig said that you would have wanted to start hanging out with again after, and that somebody said that you told him that you loved him after the hookup. So like, how did you kind of define it?
I mean, what Catherine said is not true.
Right.
And I was like, that she would be the last person to even be placed to talk about that. But I was like, whatever. I probably should have expected that out of her. But no, I don't think Craig and I like ever thought of getting back together. It really wasn't like that. It was much more casual than it's being played out to be, which is fine.
Are you dating anybody?
I'm dating. Yeah, I'm like having a great time. I'm very happy and just very glad. I keep saying I'm happy for the experience, as shitty as it was, because now it's brought me to this place where I'm so much more aware of so many different things. And life is good.
Definitely. How would you feel if Craig and Paige eventually like take the next step? How would that make you feel? I
think that would be great. I mean, I'm very supportive of both of them. I think that whatever makes them happiest is great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know that you had a lot of input on his book, and that you were interviewed for it. Why did you want to do that and really share your story with him? I
mean, mainly because he asked me to. He was like, I really don't want to tell this story without your input because you're half of it. And I think and I really appreciated that. And I spent a long time giving information, like recounting things and stuff. And that also was pretty therapeutic. I mean, you can say Craig and I have had like triple closure at this point. So I think that's why we're able to be just like buddies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a good experience, the book. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard really good things.
I read it and it's fantastic. It's actually right back here. So it's great. Did you watch the show when you weren't on? Did you kind of keep up with it?
No, I didn't. I just didn't think it was like healthy to be watching it, but not be part of it. So it's like, okay, I closed that door. I have to keep it closed. Yeah. But Leva, right before we started filming, was like, you probably need to watch last season so you know a little bit of what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I watched it, in a couple of days, like right before we started filming last summer.
Yeah. What was your reaction?
I don't really remember much. I think it was really probably very hard to film during COVID and things like that, and with production and everything. So, I thought it was fine. I definitely think this year is going to be twice as good because of that. There's just so much that happened.
Did you try to convince Cameron to come back as well?
No, I think I know her well enough and I know Chelsea well enough that it's like, not really. Never say never, but I don't think that this was the year.
Yeah, definitely not. How did you feel about going back in and filming with Catherine after everything that happened? We see the two of you at the birthday party where things kind of, in the first episode, and there was a lot of tension. But Leva said that it seems like the two of you took some baby steps this season. How would you kind of describe your relationship?
There is no relationship. I just don't think. I think like for my personal boundaries and stuff like that, it's just not, you don't have to have everyone in your life and you don't have to be friends with everyone. And just because she's in the frame, I'll always be cordial to her no matter how many times she tells me to f*** off. But it's not really like of interest to me.
You've been friends with these people for so long, and we see some tension between Craig, Austin, and Shep this season. Was that hard to see?
No, I thought it was pretty funny. They're they're funny. They have a funny dynamic, and even though they fight, they always make up. And I think that they're all good now. So knowing the outcome, it's like funny to watch the process. You know, they just bicker like an old married couple, the three of them.
Right. Is anybody invited to Madison's wedding?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
How does that make you
like
feel?
A very intimate, like family, wedding where she just wants. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that I really respect that she's keeping her relationship private, because I think that's the healthiest thing to do. As we all have seen, at least my personal experience has not been great with sharing relationships on TV. So I think moving forward, I probably would opt out of that. So I think she's doing the right thing.
Yeah. So you think going forward, if you get into a serious relationship, you might keep that off camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. So what are you most excited for fans to see this season?
I'm excited for them, to see like all the twists and turns, because it really was. In previous seasons, I've been like, oh, it wasn't that good. I was like, and everyone is kind of hard on the episodes because it's you. So you're like, oh, that was really bad and stuff. But I know how much fun we had filming and all the things that happened, and there's no way that it can't be great. Mm-hmm. So I think that, it's just going to be a really solid season. Like, there's a lot of material.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. You think Shep and Taylor are going to get married next?
I don't know. You'll have to watch what happens with them this season, and I don't know what I can and can't answer without getting in trouble.
Right. Well, Naomi, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see the rest of the season. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly Magazine.